What's up everyone, I'm back with another video, and as you may have noticed, I've changed my name from True of Underground to Winter Alliance. For a while I've been wanting to work under a name that has more of a connection with my current music and my musical direction I want to go in the future. And this new name sort of encompasses that vision. With that out of the way, what I wanted to talk to you about is how to make your mix have a crisp high end without using EQ. More specifically, by only using one knob to add this effect. I came up with this after listening to some of the early Porter Robinson tracks, and I don't think this is exactly what he does, but it still can help improve your mixes, and it was sort of inspired by those earlier songs. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So first, before I show you how I set up this effect, I want to show you what it sounds like on a before and after on a short loop, just so you know what I'm talking about. And I want you to listen specifically to the high end and how it changes and makes the overall mix sound clearer. So now that you know what the effect sounds like, I'm going to show you how I set up the custom effect combinator so you can recreate this very same effect in your own tracks. So what this is this is a send effect inside of a combinator with some effects, which in this case is a Scream 4 distortion unit, to create a sort of bit crusher effect, or what's sometimes referred to as a Redux. This effect is going to be on a send with the low frequencies removed, which we can see right here, just so we have a crisp high end that we can add by increasing this send amount here on this mixer. So first, create an empty combinator, followed by a line 6-2 mixer, and then shift create a version of Scream 4 sound destruction unit. So next, hit tab to look at the back, take the output of the send, plug it into the input of the Scream 4, and take the output of the Scream 4 and plug it into this return here. We hit tab to flip everything back around. What we can see is we now have a Scream 4 set up with a send right here that we can increase or add the distortion effect. So next, right click and initialize the Scream 4. Turn it to the digital mode and turn the P1 all the way up and the P2 all the way up. So even though there will be no bit crushing from this effect, these knobs all the way up will still give it a light distortion, which we'll get from the damage knob, which is set to 62. If you wanted more of a bit reduced sound, you can bring this P2 down slightly for a slightly different sounding effect. So next, turn on the cut section, remove the lows entirely, put the highs all the way up, and put the mids at 33. Next, to finish off the scream, turn the output level down to 65. So finally, what we're going to do is make this rotary 1 control the send amount on the mixer. That's just so we don't have to open up the combinator every single time we want to change the settings when we use this as a recent device. So for this, click the Show Programmer, click the Line Mixer, go down to Rotary 1, hit that, take the send, Channel 1 aux send, select that, and now this, as you can see down here, is controlling that. And just so we don't forget what the rotary does, you can go ahead and rename it to something like send amount. Once you're finished, click the Save button and save the combinator. Give it some sort of name like Redux Effect. And then hit the Save button right here. And that's just so you don't have to remake the patch every single time you want to use the sound. And when you want to use the effect, just create a combinator and plug it in like you would any other effects device in Reason. If we go ahead and look at some of the basses that I showed early on in the intro, as we can see with this pluck, I took the output from this echo unit, plugged it in like a regular effects device, and then put it in so it went in before this reverb. Usually this effect, when you're putting it on synths and stuff, tends to sound better when it's before the reverb, but feel free to experiment. So next, to show you how to apply this effect, let me go ahead and solo out this sort of bass pluck that I played earlier, and then I will slowly increase the effect to show you what it sounds like. So for this effect, I would recommend normally not going over halfway because it tends to get extremely distorted, but feel free to go ahead and experiment with this if you want. One way that you can modify this patch is by changing the effect that you have on the send. When we usually think of send effects, we think of more time-based effects like reverb and delay, but by using a weird effect like I did with this bit crusher, you can get some very interesting results. Alright, so that concludes the video. Make sure to hit like and subscribe if you liked the video to help me out and to stay up to date with all my future videos. If you have a production trick or a tip you'd like me to cover in a video, feel free to message me or drop a comment below. And until next time, see you guys later.